Hello dear student, welcome to our new session of laws of motion. It's your sixth lecture. In previous lecture we'll discuss about motion of a block in pulley block system, in which we'll get the value of acceleration. It is mass of bigger block minus mass of smaller block into g upon mass of bigger block plus mass of smaller block. And after getting the value of acceleration, we'll find the value of tension. It is T is equals to 2 m1 m2 g upon m1 plus m2. So I hope you all are aware with all the numericals. You'll go through every video. Now moving forward, my dear student, let's start doing another topic which is called motion on double inclined plane. See, this type of structure, you can say that for making double inclined plane we have to join two inclined plane, because if you'll see, this is one inclined plane and this is another inclined plane. So if two inclined plane is combined, it forms a double inclined plane. So my dear students, see here, we have a inclined plane, or we can say double inclined plane, in which a pulley is there. Over the pulley there is a rope which is passing, and two masses are connected with the pulley. Masses are m1 and m2. So two masses are here. First is m1 and second is m2. And see my dear student, this is your angle of inclination. So this angle of inclination is theta 1 and this angle of inclination is theta 2. As we all know that if we have mass, then we have to make its weight, and weight is a kind of force, my dear student, which always acts vertically downward. So as I already tell you, for inclined plane you have to make new x-axis and new y-axis. So for inclined plane, this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. Similarly, this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So my dear student, as we see here that this angle of inclination is theta 1 and this angle of inclination is theta 2. So we know that weight is always acts vertically downward. So m1g is vertically downward. Similarly, m2g is also vertically downward. Now see, this angle of inclination is theta 1. So if this angle is theta 1, then it is but obvious that this angle is also be theta 1. Similarly, this angle is theta 2, so this angle is also theta 2. So what we conclude from here? We conclude that weight is a kind of force and it is making angle. Here it is theta 1 and here it is theta 2. I am repeating once again. Weight is a force and making angle theta 1 and theta 2 with this axis, So my dear student, as we all know that weight is a force and force is a vector quantity. So if any vector quantity makes some angle, then we have to split its component. So for any vector, two components forms, one is cos and other is sine. Cos component always on along that axis from where we'll make angle. So see, this theta 1 is with this line, so cos component must lies along this axis. So it is m1g cos theta 1. Similarly, in this axis it is m2g cos theta 2. I hope you all understand this thing. We'll do nothing, we'll break the components. And we know that every vector have two components, one is cos and other is sine. Now see my dear student, other component must be of sine and it must be with perpendicular to cos. So along this axis it is m1g sine theta 1. Similarly, along this axis it is m2g sine theta 2. I hope you all understand. This is theta 1 and this is theta 2. Why theta 1 and theta 2? Because this side the angle of inclination is theta 1 and in this side angle of inclination is theta 2. So weight m1g, m2g, component one is cos and other component must be sine. I hope you all understand, because this thing is repeated many times by me. Remember, if any vector quantity makes angle, then you have to split its component. For any vector, two components forms, one is cos, another is sine. So this is m1g cos theta 1, this is m1g sin theta 1, this is m2g sin theta 2, this is m2g sin theta 2. So next point is, we know that this is a rope and this is a single rope. And my dear student, if single rope is there, then rope is always considered to be massless, and massless rope carry tension, each point remains constant. And we know that one more thing, my dear student, that tension is always a pulling force. So if I'll make tension in this rope, it must be away from body, so T, and in this body again it is away from body, so T. I hope you all understand this. Tension is always a pulling force, and we always make tension away from the body. If I make this direction of tension, then it considered to be a pushing force. But we know that tension is never a pushing force. Tension is always, my dear student, is a pulling force. So moving forward. Now see, this M1 apply a force m1g cos theta 1 on this inclined plane, and we know that every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So if this block apply force on inclined plane m1g cos theta 1, then inclined plane also apply force, that is normal reaction force, my dear student, because we know that if two bodies are in physical contact with each other, then there is a force which can take place called normal reaction force. So here we have one more force in this direction, it is normal. Let's suppose this normal reaction force is to be N1. Similarly, if you will see here, this block is also applying force m2g cos theta 2 on inclined plane. So again, same philosophy, same law, that is every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So if block apply force on inclined plane, then inclined plane also apply force on block, and that force must be normal reaction force. It is, my dear student, N2, because we know that if two bodies are in physical contact with each other, then only one force which is acting is called normal reaction force. So here we have overall three forces. One is tension, second is normal, and third is weight, my dear student. M1g, m2g, its component m2g cos theta 2, m2g sin theta 2, m1g cos theta 1, m1g sin theta 1, along this direction n1, along this direction n2, tension, because single rope is there, or we can say single string is there. So if string is single, then tension on each point remains same, or we can say tension on each point remains constant. Now my dear student, let's suppose this system is moving in this direction. Let's suppose this system is moving in this direction with acceleration a. Now see, if this system is moving down with acceleration a, or we can say if this block is moving down with acceleration a, then it is but obvious, my dear student, that the acceleration of this block must be in upward direction. Because if this block moves down, then this block moves up. If this block is moving with acceleration a, then this block is also moving with acceleration a, because this is nothing but a fixed pulley, and we know that along both the side, if fixed pulley is there, then both side carry same acceleration, same velocity, as well as, my dear student, same displacement. So I hope you all understand this thing. Now see, as you'll see, this block never moves in this direction as well as in this direction. Similarly, this block is also never moves in this direction or in this direction. So we'll say N1 and m1g cos theta 1 are in equilibrium, because, my dear student, we know that if force cannot provide motion on any body, then we'll say forces are in equilibrium. And what is the meaning of equilibrium of force? Equilibrium of force means net force acting on body is equals to 0. Net force acting on body is equals to 0 means forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in, my dear student, direction. So see, N1 is in this direction, m1g cos theta 1 is this direction, but motion cannot take place neither in this direction nor in this direction. So we'll say n1 and m1g cos theta 1 are equal. So I'll write n1 must be equals to m1g cos theta 1. Similarly, if I am talking about this block, so this block also never moves in this direction as well as in this direction. So we'll say along this axis forces are in equilibrium. It implies net force is equals to 0, or we can say forces are acting but its effect is 0. So opposite force must be equal. So I'll write n2 must be equal to m2g cos theta 2. So this is the value of n1 and this is the value of, my dear student, n2. Now see, the axis of motion is this, and for this block the axis of motion along this side. So we will apply now net force is equals to ma net. Now see, this block is moving down, so axis of motion is this. Along this axis we have two forces. One is m1g sin theta 1 and another force is tension. See, my dear student, the acceleration is in downward direction. It implies m1g sin theta 1 is bigger force compared to tension. Similarly, if we are talking about this block, then this block is moving upward. Along the direction of acceleration, again we have two forces which is acting on this body. One is tension and another is m2g sin theta 2. See, tension is in upward direction, m2g sin theta 2 is in downward direction, and acceleration is in upward direction. So what it implies? It implies bigger force minus a smaller force, because tension, along the direction of tension, acceleration taking place. So let's write, I'll write for m1 block, it is F net is equals to ma net. So F net means bigger force minus smaller force is equals to ma net. So bigger force is that force which is along the direction of acceleration. So see, acceleration is in downward side, m1g sin theta 1 is in downward side. It means m1g sin theta 1 is bigger force compared to tension. So what I'll write? I'll write m1g sin theta 1 minus tension is equals to m1a. This is, my dear student, our first equation. Now I'll write F net, or we can say I'll apply F net is equals to ma net for second mass, that is m2. So for m2, now see, we know that we have to apply formula F net is equals to ma net. F net means bigger force minus smaller force is equals to m into a. Now see, my dear student, as the acceleration is in upward side and the force tension is in upward side, so tension minus m2g sin theta 2 becomes equals to m2a. So I'll write T minus m2g sin theta 2 is equals to m2a. This is our second equation. I hope you all understand. Try to understand the things. T minus m2g sin theta 2 is equals to m2a, and m1g sin theta 1 minus t is equals to, my dear student, m1a. Now what we have to do? We have to add equation 1 and equation 2. So I'll write here, add equation 1 and equation 2. Add equation 1 and equation 2. So add, my dear student, what we'll get? It is m1g sin theta 1 minus t is equals to m1a. This is your first equation. T minus m2g sin theta 2 is equals to m2a. This is your second equation. Now we have to add both equation. So t and t get cancelled. So what we'll get? m1g sin theta 1 minus m2g sin theta 2 is equals to m1a plus m2a. I hope you all understand this thing. Now see, g is considered to be constant, and from here a is considered to be common. So what we'll get? m1 sin theta 1 minus m2 sin theta 2 into G is equals to A m1 plus m2. Now find the value of A. A becomes equals to m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 into G upon m1 plus m2. So this is the value of acceleration, my dear student, in double inclined plane. m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 into G upon m1 plus m2. m1 plus m2. So I hope you all understand this thing, my dear student. Acceleration on double inclined plane is m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 into G upon m1 plus m2. Now see, my dear student, you have to learn this formula like A is equals to m sine theta bigger minus m sine theta smaller into G upon mass of bigger plus mass of smaller. Remember one thing, my dear student. If you are dealing with double inclined plane, remember dear student, if you are dealing with double inclined plane, then it is not mandatory that higher value mass always comes down. I am repeating once again. If you are dealing with double inclined plane, my dear student, then it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory that always the bigger mass, or we can say higher mass, comes down and lower mass comes up. Sometime lower mass also gets down and higher mass comes up, because the direction of acceleration, I am repeating once again, in double inclined plane, it is not mandatory that always the higher mass, or we can say heavier body, comes down and lighter body goes up. No, it is not mandatory, because in double inclined plane, the direction of motion depends not only on mass. It depends on mass into sine theta. Sine theta means theta is angle of inclined plane. So write down in form of note, my dear student. Write down in double inclined plane. Write down note in double inclined plane. In double inclined plane, the direction of motion in double inclined plane, the direction of motion in double inclined plane, the direction of motion not only depends, the direction of motion not only depends on mass, not only depends on mass, but it depends on mass into sine theta, but it depends on mass into sine theta, but it depends on mass into sine theta. So my dear student, always aware with this thing. Never try to judge on double inclined plane behalf of mass, because the direction of acceleration, or we can say the direction of motion on double inclined plane, not only depends on mass, it depends on m sine theta. So you have to find first m sine theta of this mass, then you have to find m sine theta of this mass, then you will compare which m sine theta is greater. If this side m sine theta is greater, then body comes down, this body goes up. But if this m sine theta, this side m sine theta is greater than this side m sine theta, then this block moves down and this block moves up. So remember, understand this thing, fix in your mind. If double inclined plane is there, I am repeating once again, if double inclined plane is there, then always remember you have to find m sine theta of this block and m sine theta of this block. And remember, theta for both the blocks is different. this angle of inclination is theta 1, you have to find m sine theta, or we can say mg sine theta 1, and this is mg sine theta 2. So check which m sine theta is greater, then decide the direction of motion, not on the basis of heavier mass. So moving forward, my dear student, let's find the value of tension. So write down the value of tension. So by second equation of motion, from equation 2, which is t minus m2g sine theta 2 is equals to m2a. So t is equals to m2g sine theta 2 comes this side. So it is m2a plus m2g sine theta 2. So t becomes equals to m2, and we know that the value of a is m1g sine theta 1 minus m2g sine theta 2 upon m1 plus m2 plus, I'll moving this, plus what will get, my dear student? We'll get plus m2g sine theta 2. So here it is m2. Instead of acceleration, I'll put the value of acceleration, because we know that the value of acceleration on double inclined plane is nothing but m1g sine theta 1 minus m2g sine theta 2 upon m1 plus m2. This is the value of acceleration which we already find in this portion. So t is equals to m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 upon m1 plus m2 into g plus m2g sine theta 2 plus m2g sine theta 2. Now my dear student, g get common, so t becomes equals to m2g m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 upon m1 plus m2 plus m2g sine theta 2. Now take m2g common, so t becomes equals to m2g, I am taking common, so it is m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 upon m1 plus m2 and plus sine theta 2. I hope you all understand. I am taking m2g common, my dear student. So if I am taking m2g common, it will be m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2 plus see, my dear student, we have to get LCM of this sine theta 2, because here we'll get common m2g sine theta 2. So only sine theta 2 will be left. Now just try to make it by your own, taking LCM, my dear student. So what we'll get? We'll get t is equals to, I'm writing here, so t is equals to, what we'll get now? We'll get t is equals to m2g, and it is m1 sine theta 1 minus m2 sine theta 2, m1 plus m2 get this side and it is multiply, so it will be plus, so plus m1 sine theta 2 plus m2 sine theta 2 divided by m1 plus m2. Now see, m2 sine theta 2 and m2 sine theta 2 get cancelled, so t is equals to m2g m1 sine theta 1 plus m1 sine theta 2 divided by m1 plus m2. So m1 again get common, so it is m1 m2g upon m1 plus m2 sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. This is the formula of tension present on rope on double inclined plane, my dear student. So the value of acceleration is m1g sine theta 1 minus m2g sine theta 2 upon m1 plus m2. This is the value of acceleration, and the value of tension is T is equals to m1 into m2g upon m1 plus m2 sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. Now see, my dear student, there is a term called reduced mass. There is a term called reduced mass. Reduced mass. In some books, this relation will be given like this. I'll show you. There is a term called reduced mass. Reduced mass. Reduced mass is represented by mu, and reduced mass means m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. This is the formula of reduced mass. The value of reduced mass is nothing but m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. So instead of m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2, I'll use mu, which is called reduced mass. So T becomes equals to mu g and sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. Remember, theta 1 and theta 2 is where theta 1 and theta 2 is angle of inclination. Angle of inclination on inclined plane. On inclined plane. So I'll write here on inclined plane. On inclined plane. So I hope you all understand this equation, my dear student. So in double inclined plane, the value of acceleration is mg sine theta 1 minus m2g sine theta 2, or we can say m sine theta bigger minus m sine theta smaller into g upon mass of bigger plus mass of smaller. Similarly, if I am talking about the value of tension, so the value of tension on rope which is present on double inclined plane is m1 m2g upon m1 plus m2 into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. So I hope you all understand, my dear student, these all terms. Now see, if you are aware with these two formula, then it is very easy to deal some sort of numerical if you are your skill, understanding skill is good. So I'll show you how. See, we know that if I'm talking about pulley block system, then we know that the acceleration of pulley block system is mass of bigger block minus mass of smaller block into g upon mass of bigger block plus mass of smaller block, and the value of tension is 2 m1 m2g upon m1 plus m2. This is the value of tension in case of pulley block system. Now see, my dear student, this is our double inclined plane. See, this is our double inclined plane. This angle of inclination is theta 1 and this angle of inclination is theta 2. Here we have a pulley and we have a block of mass m1, and in this side another block is there of mass m2. Now see, my dear student, remember, and the value of acceleration is m sine theta bigger minus m sine theta smaller into g upon mass of bigger plus mass of smaller. This is the formula of acceleration. Similarly, if I am talking about tension, it is m1 m2 g upon m1 plus m2 and sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. This is the formula of tension in case of double inclined plane. The formula of acceleration is m sine theta bigger minus m sine theta smaller into g upon mass of bigger plus mass of smaller, and the formula of tension is m1 m2 g upon m1 plus m2 into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. Now see, my dear student, I show you a magic. Let's suppose this angle is theta 1. See, my dear student, try to understand. This angle is theta 1 and this angle is theta 2. Let's suppose this angle becomes like this. So if this angle becomes like this, if this line becomes like this, then it is a straight line. At that instant, see, I just try to explain you is, this angle is theta 1, if and this angle is made with this axis. So if this line becomes like this, then this angle must be 90 degree. Similarly, if I'll take this line like this, then again the angle must be 90 degrees. So if I'll write, if theta 1 and theta 2 becomes equals to 90 degree, I'll write here, if theta 1 and theta 2, if theta 1 and theta 2 becomes equals to 90 degree, so what this shows? This shows like this. This is your mass m1 and this is your mass m2. It will be look like this and like this. So put the value of sine theta, theta to be 90. So what we'll get, my dear student? We'll get acceleration is equals to m1 sine 90 minus m2 sine 90 into g upon m1 plus m2. Now we all know that sine 90 is 1. So what will get, my dear student? G is, G we have common. So acceleration is equals to sine 90 is 1. So sine 90 becomes equals to 1. So what will get? m1 minus m2 into g upon m1 plus m2. This is the formula of acceleration. Similarly, the value of tension is T is equals to m1 m2 g upon m1 plus m2 sine theta 1. So sine 90 plus sine 90. So sine 90 is 1, 1 plus 1, 2. So T becomes equals to 2 m1 m2 g upon m1 plus m2. So this is the formula of tension in case of pulley block system. This is the formula of acceleration in case of pulley block system. So are you aware thing? If you learn this formula, then change the structure, you'll get the value. Let's suppose I'm making new structure. Let's say try to understand, my dear student. It's very easy, very interesting chapter. If you are confirmed with all the topics, then this chapter is very important, very interesting and very easy. Free body diagram is very important in this chapter. Now see, if this line becomes like this, so this line becomes like this, then this line is parallel to this axis, so it will be 0 degree, and this line becomes like this, so 90. So I am writing here, if theta 1 is equals to 0 and theta 2 is equals to 90, so the structure look like this. This is your m2 and here comes your m1. This line will be move like this and this line becomes 90 degree. So we know that acceleration is equals to mg sine 0, m1 sine 0 minus m2 sine 90, m2g sine 90 divided by m1 plus m2. So the acceleration is equals to sine 0 is 0. So this becomes 0 and sine 90 is 1. So it is equals to, my dear student, 0 minus m2g sine 90 is 1 upon m1 plus m2. Now see, my dear student, acceleration is minus m2g upon m1 plus m2. See, actually negative sign indicates that m2 is moving down. And if m2 is moving down, then m1 must be in this direction. Now see the value of tension. So T becomes equals to m1 m2g upon m1 plus m2 sine theta 1. So sine 0 plus sine 90. Sine 0 is 0, sine 90 is 1. So T becomes equals to m1 m2g upon m1 plus m2. If you are aware with this formula and a pretty concept is clear on your mind, then you will solve any kind of numerical without making FBD with the help of these two formula. So I hope you all understand this lecture, my dear student. From next lecture, we'll discuss some more numerical and move forward with a new topic called conservation of momentum and impulse. So thank you so much, my dear student, connecting with us. In next class, we'll meet with new topic. So try to make proper notes and revise your notes again and again. Thank you so much, my dear student.